Hi guys, and welcome to another video by Rummerfield and Mannpits. I'm Charlie, and today I have Adam with me.
Hi guys.
So today we're kind of giving you some tips for Infected. I mean, the two of us have been playing this quite a lot recently. We've had some fun on here, and there's a few things that we've kind of picked up on that might help you in your future Infected gameplays.
Yeah, so Charlie, I believe you have the first tip, and it's one that's very helpful for people at the start of the game. Just if anybody feels like they're getting infected quite early, this is a nice little tip that Charlie's picked up on.
You may notice that a lot of people in the game with you kind of stick to one area. Now this is something that you may want to do. Don't necessarily camp, but find an area where you know where they're going to come from, know the angles where they're kind of approaching that way. Could they approach from behind me? This is just so that you don't get a guy sneakily come up behind you and stab you in the back, because that's never fun.
No. And guys, as you can see in this gameplay, this is my gameplay. This is using the Type 95, and as you well know if you've played Infected any length of time, there's obviously a variety of different weapons, and obviously the Type 95 and the Barrett are more your long-range weapons. You've got your, Striker. That's really a short-range weapon which you want to keep up close and personal, but you don't want to be getting too close for the throwing knives. And your PP90, which is obviously your submachine gun, you want to keep that at medium range.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't try and use a striker and camp and try and shoot people from long ranges. I know these are pretty noob tips, but you never know. You might do this by accident. It could be setting you up on the radar and you're just going to get swarmed. So just don't take the shot with a striker from a distance which you don't think you can kill them from. And obviously just be wary that the Barrett is going to get very hard to kill people at short range. So just keep that in mind. If you can keep yourself on the map, that's going to help you use the weapon to its strongest ability, then just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Something that I found some people don't do enough is use their secondary weapon. I mean, it's obviously a simple thing to do, and I know I must sound like an idiot having to say it, but don't forget that your secondary weapon is there. If they're ever getting too close, just whip out your secondary rather than reloading. It might just save you your life.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't know if I do it in this gameplay, but I know recently I've been using that tip a lot. Just putting out my secondary, especially the Type 95. I don't think there's a better short-range pistol than the Magnums. Really, they're one shot. Yeah, exactly. One shot from each will take an enemy down, so you can take a few enemies down and get that quick reload off on your primary.
Yeah.
And then you've got 30 rounds of ammunition, or you've got some like shells or the shotgun. So that's a very useful tip, guys. Don't ever like fear to use your secondary in a situation. That's definitely something you want to keep an eye on and do. And fourthly, which is something I've picked up on, I know Charlie's trying to integrate in his game slowly, is making sure that you check the mini-map regularly. As you can see on the one now, the area and map in front of me is completely clear of teammates. That gives me a good indication that nobody is they're going to spawn there because nobody is blocking that area. So just making sure that you do that. That's more for people that run around a lot. If you notice that you're the only one in an area, or you're the only one in a specific area and the whole area behind you has not got a teammate in it, just be wary that that's probably an area they're going to spawn in. So just be wary of people running up behind you with a knife. Obviously if you have a headset, that will help you because you'll be able to sound for them. But for anybody who doesn't, just uses TV or uses surround sound, just keep that in mind, because that's a very, very easy way to die. And I know sometimes that isn't easy when you've got like 10 enemies running at you, but just try and do it as much as you can.
Yes, another thing you might want to remember is that after you kill a person, think that they may have tried a tactical insertion. Just because you've killed them, they're probably going to come at you in the next couple of seconds as well, especially later on in the game when there's only the last 5 or so people who are left alive. The tactical insertions play a big part by the infected, and they will spawn pretty much directly near to you, so it's going to get really fast paced, like how in this gameplay is now. Adam's getting loads of kills in, whereas at the beginning of the game there was only the one guy. There wasn't as many opportunities for kills.
Exactly, guys, and what we were talking about earlier about Charlie saying stick to an area. People, as you can see behind me, there's about 4 or 5 people I can actually see behind me that are in the actual behind the counter of Burger Town. Now, for me, I think that's a bad idea because you're limited to a range of movement, and you'll see once I get killed, I'm pretty sure they get dispatched quickly, because if there's so many people in there, you can't move, so you're pretty much stuck to an area and have to hope that you can rely on teammates. And that's another point. Never ever rely on teammates if you're playing on your own, if you're not playing with a big group of friends. Because the majority of the time they're useless and they will just get you killed and won't bother shooting the guy. So keep that in mind. And not, like I was saying, reverting to my earlier point, I have a free range of movement here. Multiple times I'm now just strafe out of the way of throwing knives, and it's just managed to get me, keep me alive for this whole entire game pretty much. Till obviously I get killed, but it's kept me alive all this time. And I think I've limited the guys behind me to a few kills, so that's always nice as well. I hate people that go behind me.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the gameplay. Thank you for watching. This has been Charlie and Adam.
Yeah, thanks guys. If you want anything similar to this as well, please just put in the comments if you want anything similar to this. If I'm sure we can play some other game modes or other games entirely if that's what you want to see.